TheMikeMagazine.com, bringing you only the best exclusives and entertainment news. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for more information and updates. Citizens of Indianola gather to welcome the new police chief, Maurice Hibbler, to Indianola Police Department. Hibbler says he is glad to be back home.
We are here tonight for Indianola. We're not here for me. We are here to celebrate me coming into my hometown, the town that I love. We are here for me being put into position as chief of police for my hometown.
Let's talk about how many years in law enforcement do you have?
18 years of law enforcement experience.
Man, I remember when you were in Greenville.
Right.
And a lot of people, they say you are such an awesome person to work with. And when we talk about the community, what is it in particular what message do you want to send to the people in the community?
Unity. I want us to understand that there is no police and the community. It is us. It is not us against them. This is our community. We shop at the same stores. We all have the same issues, the same problems. So it is us. It is not police and the civilians. It is us as a whole, as a community.
What's the key to solving unsolved crimes around, just period, when it comes to crime?
I go back to unity, because if there's no trust, no one will speak to you, because people will see what happened. But the thing is, once you lose the trust of people, they're not going to come to you and share information with you because they don't trust you. So one of my plans is to implement a plan of unity to help bring together our community, bring together our homes, bring together our everybody, so we can get this thing done.
Now, let's talk about transparency. Does that matter as it relates to community policing?
Yes, because if people feel like that the police are above the law, of course they're not going to come to us.
Okay.
That's why we end up having so many issues now with the trust in the community, because they feel like, oh, the police can do whatever they want to do. That is not going to be the case for the Indianola Police Department. It's not going to be the case. Transparency all day long. Anything you want to know that is not hampering a case, or much information that we can give to you about us or whatever's going on, we will give it. But we will not disclose any information that can mess up a case.
You ready to take on this task?
I'm been ready.
Chief Hibbler took the time to explain his plans for Indianola Police Department and the community. He talked about the Jamie IVerson initiative. What do you think about police officers walking up and down downtown as high visibility?
Well, first of all, it should have been implemented a long time ago. And second of all, this is a new chief with new ideas that's going to move this city forward. Each one teach one. If you see something, say something. Don't let it be close to home before you get to talking.
Do you think, now the chief talked about the Jamie IVerson initiative. What do you think of the police visibility downtown?
I think that's always a good thing. When the public can see the police, they're there, they know who they are, they're familiar with them, you just feel safer. It's a good thing.
What are you expecting from a new chief?
Well, it's going to be a tough job for him. He got a lot of things to overcome. A lot of unsolved murders in this city. The first thing we got to do is bring the citizens together to support him. If you say something, say something. So it's going to be involving the entire community in order to make him work. If it doesn't involve the entire community, it would not work. I think he did a great speech in there tonight. I was real enthused. And, you know, when you change in chief, a lot of changes come forward. I'm looking for the NAACP here at Sunflower County, working with the new chief to make sure we solve a lot of this crime.
He talked about starting out, it's going to be uncomfortable, but he said that it will mellow out. What does that mean to you?
Being uncomfortable means at first, those who don't obey or don't comply to the law, we have to make it so uncomfortable that they won't be able to function.
The new chief talked a lot about unity and transparency. What does that mean for Indianola?
Well, we're a small town, small community. Listen, it's going to take all of us working together behind the new chief, along with our police officers, to ensure that the crime in this area is addressed. If those who, those neighbors and those who next door to those who are keeping up trouble, if they know something, listen, you got to tell someone. It's going to take all of us pulling together to ensure that our crime here goes down.
We know that with new administration comes a little bit of resistance. Like with Joe Biden, when he came in, it was some resistance there. Same thing here. But let me ask you, how do we push past the fact that we do have new administration and get down to business?
The way that we push past it, for one, is going to take a day-by-day situation. They're going to take it day by day because a lot has transpired here in our city of Illinois. So don't look for anything to happen overnight. That's one thing when we get it twisted, that we get somebody new in office. We want that person to move like clockwork, like microwave. But get this person time to work out the plan that he has put forward. And I must say that the chief, our new chief on today, he has an effective plan that I believe that can help the city of Illinois. We say Illinois strong, well, guess what? It's not just going to take him, it's not just going to take his officers, but it's going to take us as a community in order for this plan to be effective. One thing I like about him, he said that we're going to have officers on foot. I love that because I'm a police officer myself at Jackson State University, and we not only drive our cars, but we walk the campus. We walk the campus because we want the students, we want the staff to be familiar of who we are, not just behind a wheel, but get on foot and put forth the effort in order to maintain safety.
Chief Hibbler's biggest fan was in attendance, and she was able to give her spiel on how she feels about her husband stepping into his new position. You guys are originally from Indianola. Mm-hmm. He spoke tonight on how you told him it was imperative that you guys return home. Now that he's home, he's the chief of police in Indianola. How do you feel about sharing your husband? Because you guys are pretty private. How do you feel about sharing your husband with the community?
I tell you, how do I feel about sharing my beau with the community? It's a task, but it's also an honor because I know who he is, and I know he is a gift to be shared. I know that he will offer this community everything this community needs to move forward. I believe in him. I believe in the God that is in him, most importantly. So I see him doing great things. And I also want to say that even though it's a challenge worth taking. The criticism that will follow and has already begun. Also the encouragement, though, that outweighs the criticism. It's all a task to be taken in stride. And so I want to also say that we had experience with this for a long time because we have family who are officers, and we were close with other families that have leaders in the communities. So we do understand the task, but I want you to know, I want everyone to know that Bo is built for the challenge. He is a man of God who will not only just stand on the word, but will stand in imperfection, but being perfected by God.
He said he's not a man of many words.
He's not.
So that means to me, when I heard him say that when he speaks, it's profound. How do you know him to be as far as his character?
Oh, his character? Okay, well, let's just say he's a man with a mirrored personality. That means he has many facets to him. He's multifaceted. He is a man of few words, but he's a man of action. When he says, he used the term, I tell you what. When he say, I tell you what, he says little, but he does much. And he's a man that will stand behind his word as well. So I'm just honored to be his wife. I'm honored to be by his side. And I want you to also know that when times get hard, I am the first one that he falls on. And because of that, I need your support as well. Our family needs your support as well as we make Indianola be the community that we know it can be.